Hi, my name is Jake. This is Austin, and I'm his acting physical therapist for the day. Today, Austin's going to be performing an Astrand cycle test so that we can predict his VO2 max or his aerobic capacity. So currently, Austin's been warming up for about 3 minutes on this Monarch bike here at about 50 watts. So that's the lowest setting on the bike. And now we're actually going to start the test. So the first stage is 3 minutes, and I'm going to bump him up to about 120 watts, and this is based on the ACSM guidelines for a young conditioned male, which Austin is. So I'm going to bump that up right now. So bump it up to 120 watts and try to keep it around 50 RPMs, okay, Austin?
Yep.
Alright, so we're there. So start the first stage. So the first stage is 3 minutes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Austin and what we actually looked at prior to the start of this test. So prior to the test, we determined he was fit to exercise and actually start the Astrand cycle test based on a couple different things, including his low CV risk stratification, which we determined, and then also the fact that he is a regular exerciser. He exercises about 3 days a week for at least 30 minutes per time at a moderate to vigorous level, and he's been doing that for over 3 months. So according to the ACSM guidelines, that means Austin is a regular exerciser, and then also he has never been diagnosed, nor does he have any signs or symptoms of cardiovascular disease, renal disease, or metabolic disease. Along with his resting vitals, which we took prior to the start of the test, they were 65 beats per minute for the heart rate, blood pressure was 110/78, and his RPE, or rate of perceived exertion, which is the rate, the subjective rate of how Austin feels he's working in regards to the actual bike test, was a 6. And so all these were normative values. So due to all those different factors, we decided it was okay to start exercise without medical clearance. So everything was good on that. And then also prior to hopping on the bike, I made sure the bike seat was the correct height. So we put Austin's greater trochanter next to the bike seat and measured it off of that, so just to make sure that he had about 5 to 10 degrees of knee flexion, which is perfect. Everything feeling okay over here, Austin?
Yep.
Good? Okay, awesome. All right, so he's maintaining this 120 watts for about another minute here, and then we're going to take the first round of vitals in a second. All right. Alright, I'm going to take the first round of vitals. I'm going to put your hand on top of mine, like so. Alright, perfect. Alright, so his heart rate there was 128 beats per minute, so he's within his submax range. I'll talk a little bit about that after I take blood pressure. Alright. Alright, his blood pressure there was 140/80, and then on this RPE scale, Austin, where do you think you lie?
Probably about 11.
11? Awesome. Alright, so basically, in regards to those values I just took, those vitals, Austin is in his submax range, so prior to the start of the test, I calculated his max heart rate, which we determined was 193, and then his submax range, which is 60 to 85% of that, is 116 to 164 beats per minute. And so right now he's right in the middle, 128 beats per minute. And then also, so he's in the submax range, and then also he's having a normal response to exercise. So we would want to know that he's having this normal response, which is an increase in heart rate, increase in his systolic blood pressure, and then his diastolic blood pressure staying within 10 millimeters of mercury from his resting. In the event of adverse reactions to exercise. That would include a decrease in heart rate, his heart rate staying the same, same with the systolic, so systolic would stay the same or it would decrease, and then if his diastolic fluctuates more than 10 in either direction, then that would mean we would need to stop the test, or if Austin felt like he wanted to stop the test, we'd also terminate the test. But he's doing good, feeling okay still?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, we're coming up on minute 5, which is going to be the second round of vitals. All right, Austin. All right. Perfect. All right, so his heart rate is at 138 beats per minute. All right. Good work, Austin. All right, and then this RPE scale, where do you think you are?
Probably about a 13.
13? Awesome, awesome. All right, so he's still in the submax range, and now we're going to check for steady state of his heart rate. So we're going to check that at minute 6, which is going to come up here in a couple seconds. And so with steady state, we're just looking to make sure that his heart rate from that minute 5 heart rate is going to be within 5 beats of the next one, which would mean we could terminate the test after that. All right, so we'll take heart rate again, Austin. All right, perfect. All right, so we got 140 beats per minute, so he is in steady state. He's within a couple beats, which is awesome. And then what's your RPE scale?
About 14 now.
14 on the RPE? Awesome, awesome. All right, and at this time, I can actually bring him down to the cool down phase, which he's going to be in for about 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm going to bring you down here, and then I'll be taking his vitals every 2 to 3 minutes, and then also at the end of the cool down. So we just want to make sure with that cool down that he's having a normal response to the actual cool down phase, which would be a return to his heart rate and his blood pressure back down to normative values, such as at resting, so close to those. So can't wait to calculate your VO2 max, and you did a great job, Austin.
Thanks, man.